The new year is here and you've made it one of your goals to become financially independent in 2023. Let me tell you a secret. So have millions and millions of other people, and only a small percentage of them will actually make it. And let me tell you something else. Working hard is not enough. In fact, it's not even the most important thing. Making money is not so much about working harder or being smarter as it is about being on the right boat and executing the right strategy. So here's the first one: online coaching. Now let me share with you something about how I started my first business. My first business was a dropshipping business, and we'll get to that in a bit. But in order to start my dropshipping business, I needed some capital. And the way that I built my first bit of capital was through coaching. I used to do all right at school, so the way I made my first bit of money was by selling my service as a private tutor to kids who were struggling with school. Mind you, this was me going to the students' homes and teaching them on site. Online coaching makes everything a lot easier. The basic idea behind this is if there's something that you're good at, something that you're passionate about, to a point where someone might actually be willing to pay you for you to help them improve at that one thing, then do it. And by doing it online, you can make your service a lot easier to deliver, and you can reach a much wider audience of people who might be interested in what you have to offer. For example, in my case as a private tutor, my audience was just the parents of kids who struggled at school in an area around where I live. But if you go online, then your audience becomes much, much larger. And if you think about recording videos and selling those educational videos, then your service becomes much more scalable. So yeah, if you're passionate about something, there's a good chance that you already know the community around that topic, as well as the best ways to offer coaching within that niche. So look into it. It could be fitness, it could be chess, it could be an online games, maths exams, you name it. This is a great method if you're starting from zero for the first time. The next business model to get to 10K a month in 2023 is UGC content. UGC stands for user-generated content. And if you're familiar with the e-commerce space, you know how crucial it is for online brands to have well-executed UGC for their marketing platforms. The reason I believe this is a great business to start now is that since the dawn of short-form content with TikTok, Reels, and YouTube Shorts, I still don't see nearly as many agencies focusing on good UGC as I would have expected. This tells me that there is a big gap between supply and demand for UGC content, which of course you can take advantage of. Most user-generated content that I see being sold by agencies and freelancers still looks the same as it did 5 years ago. And the problem is that short-form content has very different fundamentals, such as pacing and sound being as important as the content itself. And I don't see any big agencies doing this very well yet. This means that there is a huge opportunity in the space for someone who can produce really good quality short-form UGC content. However, as with any business, if you want to charge a premium for your service, you need to back it up with the quality. All you need to do to get started is get a decent camera. And by decent camera, I mean your iPhone is enough. If it's not an old iPhone, you don't need to splurge on some professional camera. And most importantly, you need to really learn the platform that you want to create content for. You need to understand what goes viral and why, because trust me, there is a formula for what will go viral consistently. If you can master that and sell that to brands as short form UGC, you can take advantage of a huge opportunity in the market. The next model that can take you to 10K a month in 2023 is copywriting. Copywriting basically means writing text that is meant to grab attention, inform, or most importantly, persuade someone to take a certain action. This means that almost every single marketing campaign needs a copywriter, whether that is to write copy for an ad, social media post, a blog post, whatever it might be. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Oh, aren't copywriters all going to lose their job because of ChatGPT? And my answer to that is at least not yet. ChatGPT isn't able to write perfect copy yet for all occasions. It cannot really compare to a good marketer yet. Sure, it might write better copy than you on your first few attempts, but if you invest some time into it, get some copywriting books, and really perfect your craft, then you can definitely do a better job. Also, ChatGPT is only using information up to like 2021, I think. So if you're in an industry that is changing every single day, like crypto, Web3, or even AI, you need a copywriter that can write copy that is up to date with the latest shifts in the industry. So if you enjoy creative writing, what I would advise you to do is to get some cheap copywriting books from Amazon, such as Drew Eric Whitman's Cashvertising. Study them for a week or two, and then look for your first copywriting jobs. You'll find that there are a lot of companies offering remote copywriting jobs with very good pay. And trust me, a company knows that the difference between bad copy and good copy can be a good few percentual points in their conversion rate, which for any decently sized company means multiple six figures in a month. month just because of better copy. So a good copywriter is an expensive asset and you can make the most of it. On to the next method to make 10K a month, dropshipping. So if you're not new to my channel, you know that dropshipping is my favorite out of all these models for the simple reason that this is how it all started for me. Dropshipping means selling a product without holding inventory for that product. You handle the marketing and the storefront and you get the product sourced from a supplier. Whenever a customer buys the product from you, you buy it from the supplier who gets it shipped directly from their warehouse to the end consumer. I'm also still very much involved in this business model, so I can tell you from personal experience that this is definitely a method that can get you to 10K a month in 2023. However, you need to come into it with realistic expectations. Dropshipping is different from most of the other businesses that I've added to this list because it's not a matter of acquiring a skill and then selling it as a service. There's a steeper learning curve involved, which means it will probably take you longer for you to see return on your investment. From my experience, it usually takes people about 10 months to 1 year from starting the dropshipping business in order to start making a decent income. Another thing that you need to keep in mind is that if you're starting dropshipping as a complete beginner, you can't go and spend $5,000 on ads because it will probably be a waste of money. I know that a lot of people, myself included, regularly spend a lot more than that on ads for dropshipping product, but that is only because we know what we're doing. We've been doing this for a while and we kind of can tell when a product works or a product doesn't work. If you're new, you need to limit the risks that you're taking. I think everyone would agree that if you've never played poker, let me give you a poker example, right? And you go play your first game of poker and you sign up for a $5,000 poker tournament for your first ever game of poker, you're probably throwing money out the window, right? The same principle applies in business. If you're new to dropshipping, get started with organic traffic. Post content about your product on TikTok or Instagram Reels and make your first few sales from the organic traffic that you get. Or if you really want to run ads, start with a lower budget. Let's say $50 a day for a product test, and make sure that you have a well-defined strategy, that you're not just going to keep spending $50 forever. You need to have a very well-defined strategy in place before you spend your first dollar. You don't want to spend money unless you have a goal for that money. The next method that I want to talk about is working as a video editor. Due to the growth on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and even Instagram and Twitch TV, I estimate that the demand for video editors will only increase in the next few years and at a very fast pace. As a video editor, you don't need to shoot original content yourself. You just need to take the footage and do the editing work. What I'd recommend is that you specialize in one of these platforms like YouTube or TikTok, and within that platform, you specialize in just one niche. If you do this, you'll be able to create content that is tailored to engage a particular audience, and you'll be able to attract more and better clients than you would working as a jack of all trades. If you want to get started as a video editor, there's a lot of great educational content available for free on YouTube. All you need to do is actually put in the time to learn and just a little bit of money to get some decent software. You can get started with an Adobe subscription, which I believe costs like $50 a month. And by specializing in something like Adobe Premiere Pro, you can really go a long way. The next strategy that I recommend that you look into is YouTube. And before you dismiss this because you don't want to show your face or because you think you don't have anything interesting to share, let me tell you that you don't really need any of those things. Don't get me wrong though, if you have something that you're passionate about and you would like to share with your audience, then by all means you should show your face and talk about the things that you enjoy. You don't have to though. Lately I've seen a lot of these YouTube cash cow channels popping up where people just choose a topic and make videos about that topic using either clips from another video put together, or just because they research the topic, they write a script about that topic and then they edit together a voice clip of someone reading the script and some B-roll footage that relates to what is being said. If you can identify a trend on YouTube and make videos about that trend, like the recent Andrew Tate trend, you can definitely capitalize on it and grow a YouTube channel without ever showing your face. You don't have to use your own voice to read the script even. You can get someone from Fiverr, like a professional voice actor, to do it for you, and then you just piece it together with some B-roll footage. Now, something to keep in mind is that YouTube is usually a long-term project. While it can definitely get you to 10K a month, it will take time to get there, probably a year. This makes YouTube the perfect choice for someone who has a main source of income and spare time on the side. Use your spare time to start a YouTube channel, and if you're consistent, it will definitely pay off in the long term. And finally, number 7 is web design or graphics. I'm mixing these two together because the same principle kind of applies. And you might say, oh, but there's so many graphics designers out there. Yes, but not nearly enough good ones. If you're a creative type and you enjoy designing websites or graphics design in general, I believe that this is a great opportunity for you. There's an endless stream of super valuable videos right here on YouTube about how to do graphics design and web design. So if you put your time into it, you'll definitely be able to learn the skill in a decent amount of time. Start by working for a lower rate while offering a really quality service, and you'll soon collect a very strong portfolio of clients that are willing to pay you a lot of money for your work. Remember, if the content creation industry is growing, e-commerce industry is also growing, all these industries that require graphic design and web design services are growing. That means that the demand for these services also has to be growing. And from there, you can either start your own creative agency or get a job at an agency or choose whatever step makes sense for you. But again, this is a great method because you barely have to invest any money other than just getting the software, and you can get started with basically no risk. And to wrap this up, remember this: anywhere you go, walk around in your city or in your town, look around, there's money everywhere. All these big buildings, all the car, everything. All you need to do is to think about a way to shift the money from there into your bank account by providing something valuable that people are willing to pay you for. So start by educating yourself on one of the topics that I've discussed with you today. Don't rush into things. Invest the time in building your future, and I am sure that you can make 2023 your best year yet. I'm rooting for you. I'll see you in the next one.